Alright, this is Sharon back at SharonMyART. We're doing a little person and we're already on step 8. We've done steps 1 through 6, step by step. If you need to go back, you can find that on the YouTube. And we've just finished step 7 with cutting the sides of his body off so he's not flat, putting his little rear end cut in, and cutting some of where the shoulders are going to be, cutting that part. Now we're going to move on to step 8, which is defining where his head's going to be. These kind of look monkey faces for a while before we put our detail in. So first we're going to go down about 3/4 of an inch from the top of his hat, because we can always make his face smaller, we can never make it bigger, right? So we make that little mark there. Then we're going to go to the back of his head, make about a 1/4 of an inch line. Then connect those two lines. So all we're going to do is go up here, connect that line to that line, go over here, connect this line to this line. Okay, I'm a little low on this side, so I'm going to put that up higher to his hat. So it's about the same on both sides there, because we're pretty equal on both sides. We're pretty symmetrical. So again, pick up your carving knife, and this is a new cut. I'm going to show you this cut on a different piece of wood. It's called a V cut, and all it is coming in at one angle, and visualize where that ended, and coming in at another angle, and take that out. That's a real important cut. I'm going to do it again. Cut in, come in at like a 45, come over here like a 45, and drop that out. Come in at a 45, making this V cut, and see right there, that's probably what you'll do the first time. You don't visualize where the end is. So I heard that little noise again. There it is, a nice clean V cut. And it doesn't hurt to practice those. Try to get them pretty equal on both sides. See, I've got a little bit longer there than here. I'm going to try to get them pretty equal. 45, 45. Hear that little noise. 45. And I push it in with my thumb. You can just go all the way around your scrap piece. This doesn't have to be the same size as your little person. Mine just happens to be. This is a real important cut in carving. It opens up the wood, and it gives a little different shadow. So the shadow on this, is mostly from this top part, whereas the shadow here is a darker. See how much darker that shadow is? And what you're doing in carving is creating shadows. So we've got a deep shadow here. This shadow isn't as dark. It's not as abrupt. So we're going to make this V here to define where his head is and his hair. The front of his face and the hair in the back. So where that line is, I'm going to cut above it, and I'm going to cut below it. And I'm going to cut above it. And what I'm doing is just cutting that pencil line out. And I'm making a place for his hair. So on this painted one, you can see this is where this V cut has been. And all the way down to the end of his chin. So we're going to undercut that a little bit. But right now we're just cutting that line out, so we have kind of a rough estimation of where the head and the hair is going to be. Make it a little bit longer. Come up on this chin. He looks funny, but pretty soon we'll just see a little person just pop right out of that wood with our effort. Okay, I'm pretty symmetrical. See, on both sides I've got some little fuzzies here, so I'm going to clean those up. And I've got a little piece right here to connect. All right, so we've defined where the head is, the back of the hair, and we've started here on our shoulder area. Okay, so we've got the same look there as here. This one's just a little bit taller. And I'm going to cut underneath his chin. See how this little chest part is starting to form there. So I'm going to take my tool and just come right up to that chin and cut it off. I'm going to do the same thing over here because we're thinner here than we are down here. So if we look at this little guy, you know, here's where his shoulder is. So I'm cutting this part right in here. I'm just making that cut there. So it kind of slides up into his neck area on both sides. Here it is on this little bald guy. See right here, this part of the cut. So you're going to take your knife, and kind of just swing it right up there. See there? Now we got a place for his shoulder, and his little belly is starting to stick out. So we'll do the same thing on this side. I turn him upside down, so if I miss, I'm not going to cut my thumb, I'm just going to hit the hat. We don't want to miss. Little swinging cut there. Clean it up. You're looking pretty good for an old boy. A little more underneath his chin. Let's look at his profile. Okay, we got the front of the feet, legs, the back, and a little bit of a little rear end there. Starting to make his shoulder, cutting underneath his chin on both sides. We haven't cut this yet. We haven't cut in between his feet. We haven't cut in between his legs, and he doesn't have any arms yet. Those are in the next couple of steps. Okay, step 9, we are going to separate his legs in the front and in the back. And this V cut that I showed you how to do, we're going to do that for his legs, to separate these legs, to make these legs show up. Okay, see that deep, nice deep cut in there. That's a big, big V cut. So if you see it from the bottom, there it is, right there. So this is going to be where his bottom is. I'm going to put a line there so I know where the middle is. Okay, I'm going to put my knife point in deep. See how deep that is? It's more than 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to bring that right down. So that's a real nice deep cut. If your hands aren't strong enough to do that cut at once, you can do it twice, so you get that depth in there. Okay? Now hold your carving real tight. Visualize where this edge of the knife is going to be right down there to that V. Oh, there's our noise. And over here, I'm going to do the same thing. Then I'm going to cut these two pieces out. There you go. That's the V cut to separate the legs. I'm going to make it a little bit deeper. I hope you can see this with this light colored wood. See there? Now, everybody has a little crease right here so we can bend. So we're going to make that with 2 V cuts. See, here's his right here. Here's this guy's. And that kind of gives us our little shape there for, you know, where our legs end. Turn your carving upside down. You can mark this in if you want. I'll help visualize a little bit here. So again, I'm going to cut that line out. Tip of my knife goes into the tip of that V. Tip of my knife goes in there, falls out. See that nice little V cut there? Tip of my knife down to the end of that V. It's already coming out. There you go. Nice and clean. Clean that area out so when you paint it, you don't have those little fuzzies in there. Looks like a Y, doesn't it? A big open Y. Martini glass. Okay, in the front, it's a little bit different because we have his stomach right there. But we're going to take our knife and go right along where that center line is. And don't press too hard because this will break off. I just made a line there. Now I'm going to take the end of my knife, about the last 1/4 inch, and a big V. This is going to be separating his feet. See how big that V cut is? We're not going to do it all at once. We're going to do it in a series, so little ones. So here, right up there. And we want to go all the way to his front of his legs there. Okay, so we've got this big V cut here, and our feet are going to kind of toe out. You know, so we're going to mark them here at the bottom. All right. And then I like to just keep them like that and cut up to our line, because everything above that is going to be gone. So I'm going to make this V a little bit deeper. Okay, and then we're going to work on his toes a little bit. This is shaping his feet. Right now we're just shaping the soles of his feet, aren't we? Okay, now they're real blocky on top. So we're going to take our knife and just cut down the side. And this kind of determines where his pants are going to be also. And take this part of his shoe and just start shaping the shoe. I'm going to shape this one so you can see how much I've cut off from where we started. We kind of want these to be rounded and go all the way back to the pants. So just take some time and make those little shoes rounded. Okay, I'm pretty happy with those. I'm going to take this pants line right down to the shoe. So you can see it a little better on the ones that's painted. See, we just carved right there, right down to his shoe. We rounded his shoe. Now I'm going to show you how to put that sole on there. And this little heel cut. And also, his pants are over his shoes. So see, my knife stops right there. So we're going to cut his shoe up to his pant line, not the other way around. And they have kind of baggy pants, so I always sag them in the back. So we're going to take our pencil, and and mark just right around here where his pants line is going to go. His heel is going to be right about here. So let's cut his heel out first. Put our point of our knife in, and I just cut it part way across. You know, you just want to be able to see it from the side. We don't have to cut all the way because we need a place for our name. And then cut right up to that cut you made. Once again, this is like a V-cut, but it's straight in and cut up to it. And that will leave that little heel mark right there. Okay, can you see that? Okay, now I'm going to take the tip of my knife. Actually, I'm going to start with this V-tool. We talked about this earlier, and this is like a wedge. It's sharpened, it's like two chisels joined together, one on one side and one on the other, and this point right here is what's going to do the cutting. So I'm going to hold it real tight. In fact, I'm going to put my glove on. Okay, this is a Kevlar glove, the bulletproof vests are made out of, and it will poke you. You can poke yourself, but it won't let you cut yourself. It won't let you make your own V-tool in your hand. So hold this at the end of the tool so you have a lot of control. And see how it just makes a nice cut along there. If you haven't purchased a V-tool yet, you could take your knife and cut along there, and then cut the shoe up to that cut. So it looks like the shoe is under the pants. If you can get that little piece out. I guess I did already. Oh. There we go. You see that shadow we made? That's what we're looking for. We make shadows for people to understand that the pants are over the shoes. Now, to make the little sole, this little cut right here, we take our pencil and mark where we want that sole to be. And if you don't have a V-tool, you can use your knife. If you have a V-tool, just very carefully, because the grain is going up and down here, and this V-tool has to be pretty sharp, you're just going to run it right around there and cut that line out. And that's going to make the sole of your shoe. Okay? While you're gone, I finished both the other shoe. You know, and we've got the heels. Both the heels are in about halfway. That's a stop cut and then cut right up to it. So from the side it looks like a regular man's heel there. I put the V-tool along here and here to make the soles. I'm looking at both of them and they look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with those. When you're carving, it's important to look at your figure in all different angles. Because you want to see if both of the legs are about the same. You know, look underneath here and say, oh yeah, I could cut a little bit more there. Just be aware of your whole carving, not just the little section that you're working on all the time. And like I said, try to keep it symmetrical. All right, thank you, and please subscribe and hit like. And this is Sharon. See you later. Bye.